Okay, so I'm making my Christmas mince pies with a difference. So here I've got a whole jar of ready-made mincemeat. Make your own if you want to, but this is easier, and then adding flavours to make it more interesting. So I've got one green apple. These need to be cut to around about the same sort of size. Some sultanas. And in terms of measurements, I don't really have measurements for this, it's just some and some. It's a couple of tablespoons of each. So that's pistachios, some dark chocolate chips, some walnut pieces, and this is dried lime zest. Don't use lime a lot, but there's already mixed peel in the mincemeat, and that just kind of adds a bit of something else. And I'm also going to, if I can find it, grind in a little bit of black pepper. Only a little bit. So particularly I think Spanish or Italian thing to add black pepper to mincemeat. It just blends well and adds a bit more flavour. So I'm just going to mix these through. Now this recipe depends on how generous you are when doling out into your pastry. But anything you have left over you can just put into a container and use later on. Or you can just freeze it for a couple of months as required. So, there's my mincemeat mixed. That is pretty much the important part done to get that mixed. I'm putting fresh fruit in there because it adds a little bit of juice, and that helps it along, even though the mincemeat is a little juicy. You can add extra brandy if you want to. I'll wash my hands. But I don't like to add brandy to this because the brandy in the mincemeat is already quite strong. So add some more to it and it could be a little sickly. So, okay, so my battery died, but I'm using some filo pastry here. So, and what I've done is I've cut the filo into long strips. I've just kept it under a tea towel, a damp towel, whilst I'm working on it, because this stuff dries out very quickly. So, laying it down on a board here. And this is melted butter. You can use oil if you want to. Butter seems to add a better flavour. You need to be particularly fussy about the top and bottom, so that you've got something to stick to, but the rest of it you can just kind of spread it on. And then add in about, oh, it depends on your mix really. I'll go for about a teaspoon and a half. A bit more. Then you can adjust it as you go through, as long as you keep track of how many sheets you've got left. So this pack has 12 sheets in, each divided into 3, so that's 36 individual samosas. Like that, so I'll do that one a little slower. So, brush on the bottom edge, brush up, brush along the top edge and brush down, and then a good bit in the middle. Just kind of lubricating it with everything bind together. And then a decent sized scoop of your filling. With this, it's really kind of a stone soup. As long as you start with a good quality mincemeat, or even if you don't start with a good, you can have really cheap jarred mincemeat and add some good quality ingredients just to bring it up to spec. You could use some fresh cranberries, but you need to cut them into quarters, I'd say, and probably add something extra sweet, add some extra brown sugar or something just to counteract the berries. So I'm just putting these onto a tray because I'm not going to cook them all quite yet. So put them onto a tray and I can freeze them and they're ready to go when I need them. got to do one slowly. Don't know what how your angle's like. Let's check that. I've done quite well here. I've got to the last two and I've only got a little bit left, so it's balanced out quite nicely. You can be quite particular and put half a spoon of mincemeat and a couple of bits of nut so everyone's even, but this makes it a lot easier. So you're placing your filling to one side, fold over to make a triangle, and then pat it down a little bit, and then fold up, pat down a bit more, and fold over, and you continue to pat as you fold it so that the filling is evenly spread, so you don't end up with really empty corners. So, and just flap over the bottom, and I will store them in the fold at the bottom. So, last one. So I've used around about 200 grams of butter. There's still a little bit more in here which I can use to finish these off before they're cooked. So I've probably got enough for another two. I've only got one more left, so I'll make this one a bit of a monster, I think. So this one's going to be a little difficult because it's got so much in there. Same technique, fold over, make the triangle, and fold up, to tap. Like that. So these can either go directly into the freezer on a tray, and then once they're frozen you can stack them up into a box, or you can stick them in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes at gas mark 6 or 7, which is around about 200 degrees, until they're nice and crispy. These are only good for about 24 hours or so once they're cooked, so I'm not cooking them all now because they go a little bit soggy after a while, so cook and eat within the day at least. So, okay, so that's them pretty much done. So I'm just going to grab something I can cook them on. I'm just using the casing for now. Everything else is in the wash. So just arrange a couple with a fold side down. Like that. I'll do that way. Okay, so just as a tester to make sure they're all good, and then give them a good brush with some butter. This is starting to cool down a bit, so butter helps to keep the pastry a bit moist while it's cooking, and then it gives it a really great crunch when it's done. Like that. And then I'm going to get out some demerara sugar and just give them a quick sprinkle, and then in the oven for 15-20 minutes at gas mark 7.